Buttercups, happy Buttercups, it's your boy Snowy Warrior, and today I would like to start off this video by saying sorry. Sorry to who? Well, sorry to Marshall, of course. Why? This video will explain all of that. So, as you guys know, I have this ongoing arc in my Gmon animation series, which I've decided to call Marshall's arc since it revolves around him, and also because I'm bad at names. In case you didn't follow the story, it's basically about Marshall nearly dying, turning into a robot, and perceiving all Inklings as no good for nothing plagues on the world. Kinda like Sinui. So he goes through this whole elaborate process of wiping them out, and his son is an Octoling for some reason. It was his choice, don't ask me. Why am I telling you all of this instead of making the video? Simply put, I can't bring myself to do it. I mean, literally, I can't do it. I just, whenever I even think about working on the video, I immediately just fall into this no energy state, like I'm exhausted or something. It sucks. And if the worst part is, if I followed the script I made for it, this would have taken me at max maybe like 5 days, since it only has 5 scenes and I usually take a day to completely do one scene. And right now it has been almost a month, maybe more, and I've recently finished the first scene. I'm demotivated, and that's an understatement, but not in animating in general. I'm just demotivated on working on this arc, and I'll be honest, part of it is Marshall's fault.
Shut your stupid bitch baby ass.
But there was a bunch of problems with this arc to begin with that didn't even stem from Marshall, really. The very first issue we had was the fact that the Revenant model we were going to use for some reason decided not to work when I got my new PC, which was very frustrating to say the least. But come to find out, it was a conflicting error I had with another add-on, and ironically enough, that add-on was the one that was designed to make errors invisible, which I only found out after finishing part of the Revenant episode with the Mechasonic model, which would have been the substitute, which is why the hands and feet you see are different during those couple of shots when Marshall wakes up on the table. Another issue was that during the animation process, I found a better and more creative way to write my scripts, which not only gives me more scenes to work with, but also at the same time isn't too limiting or restricting to where I have to fit something around an exact line I made. I unfortunately did not use this method with the Future Son script, and I honestly cannot bring myself to rewrite a script I don't even want to animate anymore. I feel bad because I've been telling him I was gonna make this animation for a while now, and it just kind of feels like I'm letting him down. But like, not to sound like a shitty friend or anything, but I would kind of rather let him down than myself, because I was losing motivation to continue the series after the second episode. And no, it isn't because there's Splatoon stuff involved. And while I'm talking about that, I might as well be clear. Despite popular belief among my friends, no, I don't dislike Splatoon.
What did he say?
If I did, I wouldn't have made all those characters for, the series. In fact, I actually enjoy the game quite a lot. It's just other stuff I dislike about it. Of course, just because I don't want to work on the script doesn't mean I'm gonna scrap the arc as a whole, because there are actually quite a few changes I wanted to stick, which wouldn't be possible if I were to scrap it. Plus, it'd be counterintuitive to go through all of that hell of making those animations and getting the Revenant model to work just to go and erase it all. So no, I've thought of a better solution. Instead, I'm just gonna say what was supposed to be happening in the episode, and that way I can explain things more clearly. Maybe include some images and even give a half-ass animation about what some spots were supposed to be. I'm also gonna include one last redesign of Marshall's son, since he didn't like the other designs of them. And Marshall, if you don't like it, then I'm incredibly sorry. But you can go suck my cock. So remember how I said I only recently finished the first scene of this episode? Well, I wasn't lying. I did finish it, and even though it's basically just talking, I might as well show the footage I was able to make without wanting to bash my skull into a wall. So yeah, here you guys go.
No, no, no!
Tapi para to tarbato tutu.
Ora, suena. Merve, maldices. Yeah, homie.
Puto tirareto.
Hey, yo, yeah, terminato.
Peppo con se sta cotorapata con a posto che sa dora far crato.
Termina.
Fuck!
Baby, ora, suena.
Eto, sono lavato, l'ho visto.
Yeah, nice. Digo, yay.
Va bene, sotto corrimete batano prosciutto, dai giuro. E tutte le cotto catturate con simparachete.
Baby,
Ma sono tutto rapido, tutto messo tutto in un pacchetto pato.
yay, yo.
E con tutto, e sembrate. Ma pippa la to tarbato tutu.
Merve.
Bro, who is this?
Baby. Digo, yeah, termina. Homie. Merve.
Ma pippa la to tarbato tutu.
If I didn't mention it before, or if the title didn't give it away, this whole episode was supposed to be how Cal, Marshall's son, was from the future. In said future, Marshall did not get turned into a robot, but he still didn't meet his son. I did. A few people don't exist in that future, but that's a story for another time. Anyway, Cal leaves the future not because he needed to, but because everyone close to him died in some way, so he decided to go to the past. Now, here's where I realized I fucked up somewhere in making a coherent line of events, because from this point onward, Cal is not from the future, but is instead from an alternate timeline's future, because again, Cal in our timeline fucking died, and if that happened, the Cal from the future could not have gone back through time to where his dad is going fucking bonkers. So anyway, the next scene was supposed to involve King and Alex being tied up to the ceiling, and Marshall was there too. In this scene, they were in an underground facility. The facility itself was covered in, you guessed it, bombs. And around those bombs was a lot of Inkopolis denizens. Marshall goes on a monologue and is interrupted by me kicking down the entrance. I stop Marshall in his tracks and reveal that his son is still alive, but even then, this alone isn't enough to change Marshall's mind, since he believes he's gone too far to stop now. This is where the second scene ends. The third scene begins after a small talk between me and Marshall. And after that talk, we're supposed to have a lightsaber duel. And by that I mean Marshall tries to fucking slaughter me with his lightsaber while I run away. I'm not sure exactly what would have happened here, but I'm sure it would have involved someone getting hurt. Whether it be King, Alex's son, or Ollie, you know? During the last few parts of the scene, Cal mentioned we could restart time to a certain point because, yeah, of course, the guy from the future would have the ability to do that on some Whis type shit. So the fourth scene begins with Cal restarting time, but during the little intermission before time officially restarts, Cal, me, and Marshall are all in a white world. It's just us and nothing else. During this time, Cal explains how time will reset to a certain point, which is hopefully before Marshall begins his killing spree, and only the three of us will remember what happened. This was gonna be like a sad scene and a way to strengthen me and Marshall's bond as an excuse to make it so Marshall forgives me, and since he hasn't done any horrible actions yet, he'll accept that his son from the future will be there. During the last few moments of this scene, Marshall tells his son to come back with a better look because he didn't like the fit he came in with, and that's where the fourth scene ends. The fifth scene starts with Marshall waking back up on the table he was on after being turned into a robot, as to signify time restarted to the point before he went on a murdering spree, but after he got turned into a robot. Instead of killing Eggman this time, he simply knocked him out and ran away. Then he remembered Ollie and how the Octoling was there to help me and his son out to, you know, stop him from going on a murder spree. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Ollie was there the entire time during the last two scenes. So yeah, there's that. So he decided to go back to Inkopolis, and it is there that he encounters those twins again, but instead of killing them, because they're gonna be somewhat important throughout this series, he just knocks them out and then recruits Ollie to be his lackey. And yeah, that's where the last episode of Martial Arc ends. Admittedly, I was gonna originally make, 7 episodes and not 5, but here we are. It ends off with Marshall nearly wiping out the Inkling population and killing off some of the friends he knew, but luckily for us, his son from an alternate timeline in the future saved us all. Yeah, I wasn't lying when I said I fucked up somewhere with this plot. Before the video ends, I just want to say that my animation videos will have a different outro now that this arc is over, but I'm not going to include that outro in this video. It'll just be at the end of the next animation video. And after each arc, I plan on having a different outro for my animation videos, since I seem to always get this itch where I want to use different outros in my videos, but changing them, every fucking day is that's gonna be annoying. So I just decided that after each important arc happens, the outro will switch. Not from my gaming videos, that will only happen if, I ever feel like it needs a new one, which probably won't be for quite some time. Just the animation videos. So yeah, that was supposed to be the future son, but the summary video will have to do. Sorry if I let any of you guys down by not finishing this arc technically, but I'll try not to let it become a habit of me not completing arcs and stuff, since I actually did want to complete it, but there's a lot going on, and that just it just realistically wasn't gonna happen. So Marshall, I'm sorry that this ended up being the finishing touch to your arc. I really did want to complete it. I guess it's better to half-ass it than not to get it done at all, Maybe in the future I'll make another arc revolving around you and actually finish it, but for now I think we should just take this W, since it was pain trying to get this model to work. I can't even tell you how many sleepless nights I had just because of one single model. I never thought that was gonna happen. That was I could check on my niggas.